What's going on? This is Pete, and we're going to be doing a very basic SketchUp training video. So the first thing we're gonna do is in your web search, you're gonna type SketchUp. Now, what is SketchUp? It's a 3D modeling program, which is really good for doing design work, and it's free, and it's way better than Blender. So here's sketchup.com. I've probably been searching for over a year on something. So we're going to click on the SketchUp link. I've been searching for over a year on something better than SketchUp because after Trimble acquired SketchUp, it's a lot. I mean, it became better and worse, but all the good features are now behind a paywall. Okay, a yearly paywall for somebody who only uses it a few times. So that's why I've been searching for an alternative. There is not an alternative. So we have to use SketchUp. Blender is getting a little closer, but if you want accurate measurements, you have to go with SketchUp. Okay. Blender is for things that don't require as much accuracy. Okay, so we're on the SketchUp homepage. And we're going to click products. And you probably have to log in, but you're going to click SketchUp free. You're going to have to create a login. And then you click start modeling. All right, and here's a table that I kind of practiced with because I had a little I'm going to delete that. So these are some other designs I did. I kind of created something to practice because it's been like 3 years since I've used SketchUp, and I was trying Blender and it wasn't working out using Blender, so I'm back here. I'm back doing SketchUp. So we're going to create new. And here is the SketchUp. I expanded my desktop to be really big so you can hopefully follow along on your phone. If you can have a phone and a computer at the same time, so you could put your phone and follow along. I'm going to do this nice and slow. This is going to be the easiest beginner tutorial. So with your mouse, you can wheel in, zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. See? And whatever your mouse wheel is hovering over, that's what you're going to zoom in and out on. Woohoo! Okay. Now, if you click and hold the mouse button, the center mouse wheel, you like rotate around the X, Y, and Z axis. And if I hold shift and click the mouse wheel, I am now panning the camera around whatever I'm holding. So that's pan the camera. And then this is rotate the camera. Very important. We're going to be moving around a lot. We have our X, X, Y, and blue is the Z axis. So we have all 3 dimensions to create our 3D shapes. Left click is selecting things. So if we can we click like this and drag and don't select the whole thing, it doesn't select it. But if you drag from this other direction, if you're just touching a piece of it, you'll select the whole object. So go ahead and select the dude with the guitar and the dinosaur shirt. And press the delete button. Get rid of that guy. All right. And we're going to pan here, and we're going to create our tabletop. So we're going to create a rectangle. And what's great about SketchUp, so here's the rectangle button. I'm not going to tell you too many shortcuts, only ones that we have to use, like holding the shift to pan. Now you can pan using this pan button here, where you can pan around. But holding shift, I just keep my finger on shift on the keyboard for panning. All right, so let's create a rectangle. And see how what's great about the snapping of SketchUp? Blender doesn't do this at all. There should be like an option. It's just always snapping. Okay? We snap to the origin and we just click once, left click, and then we kind of drag this out. And you can see on the bottom right here where my mouse is, these are the dimensions. It's actively showing us the dimensions. But we can also type those in. So if you bring it out to like where the direction you want to make it, and now you put your hands up, and now you type on your keyboard, well, I want a 4-foot, comma, 4-foot. So that's a 4-foot by 4-foot table. And then you press enter. Or not table, but a square, really. We just created a square, so we can kind of zoom in on that with the mouse wheel. And you can see our nice little square. And we're going to create, well, we're going to save our project first. So it's untitled. Let's click this. So we're going to save it to, so you have to save stuff online too, which another thing I don't like. And this is going to be our our practice table. Why are we doing a table? Because it's probably the easiest thing that you could do with SketchUp, besides make a cube. Okay? So now we're going to click our little select button here, and we're going to click on that. Now, if we click once, we click on the face, and then this here is the push-pull. Other programs call it extrude. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to click on the face, and we're going to pull it up. Now, how much? You could pull it up or down. You can go plus. Doesn't matter. But we're going to pull it in the direction. Remember, we just clicked once, and now we're dragging. And now we're going to type our dimension in. So I'm going to let go of the mouse, because if you move it while you're doing this, it doesn't work. And I'm going to do 1 inch. Or we could do like let's try 1.5 inches. You do that. Now, if I hold, there's the undo right here, so you could press undo. Or, if I want to what's the same as 1.5 inches? I'm going to extrude this. Go up. I could also type 1 space 1 divided by 2. That's 1 1/2 inches. See that on the bottom right? 1 1/2 inches. And then press enter. And that's the same as 1.5 inches. So you could type it either way. Okay. So now we have this. Is a tabletop. Let's pan around it. We could see that we have a tabletop. All right. Now we're going to make some grid lines, I guess, is what we're going to do. We're going to make some lines on this. Or, no, not lines, rectangles. So you could do lines or rectangles. I think lines are better. SketchUp used to have a mode where you could see all the different like lines that are overlapping, and it no longer does that. I think it kind of cleans it up, but the problem with that is you can't see as well. So you have to use squares more than just lines. I used to use lines on everything. Now you have to kind of use rectangles. So we're going to click on this endpoint, and it's probably faster using rectangles, but we're going to do 2 inches, 2 inch, comma, 2 inches. Okay, I'm going to do this 4 times. Now, I'm sure there's other ways, more complicated ways. 2 inches and 2 inches, 2 inches. There's more oh, see, that one didn't work. 2 inches, comma, 2 inches. I must have moved it too hard. All right. So this is going to be like our little gap. Now I'm going to make another rectangle from here, from this point. 3.5 inch, comma, 3.5 inch. Enter. Right. We're going to do this again on all 4. Yeah, sometimes it's got to be smaller. Here. 3.5 inch, comma, inch. And here. All right, so now we have more lines. Okay. I guess I could, there's multiple ways we could have done this. All right, now, but wait, there's more. We're gonna do a quarter of an inch, 0.25 inch of a rectangle. So we're gonna do another up. Control, toggle, selects. Okay. 0.25 inch, comma, 0.25 inch. So we can try to draw a line here. So this is what I want to do. I want to go up here, 0.25 inch. And see, we used to be able to see each individual line. We can't do that anymore. So it just makes it a little harder. And we're going to draw it straight. Now, I'm going to undo that and do it again. All right. We're going to click on the endpoint, and you see how it's got this red line here? That means it's snapping to an axis. That's what you want, an axis. Snapping to this red axis right there. So we're going to draw that all the way across, and then we're going to, right there, how it's red. Just like that. And now, you can draw another line. And we're going to do, we'll do 1 inch. Okay, so now there's another line here. But we're going to do a rectangle. And we're going to draw from this to there. Boom. Like that. Now we have a rectangle. I can delete these single lines, I believe. Oh, I wouldn't try it. I'm not going to try it. Okay. All right. So it's kind of like, see how it's kind of a line that's kind of inset there. And we're going to do this for all 4 of these corners. Inch. There. And now it's snapping to the green. One inch. Stick to easy measurements for now. And then we're going to do a rectangle. Boom. Now there's other ways to do this. Sometimes it's just faster to make it as you're going to actually build it, and sometimes you build it in halves and then you mirror things over. But we're just going to do it this way to just give practice clicking and moving and things like that. Right. 0.25 inch. That. And actually, and instead of really measuring here, we could go like this. I can do a rectangle. And if I go like that, it says 3 foot 1 inch and then 1 5/8 inch. So I could type that in. 3 foot 1 inch and then comma 1 inch. And then boom. It's the right size. Right. So now we have like a little template on this table. Like, so this, what we're looking at here is the bottom of the table. We can flip the whole thing later. Doesn't really matter. All right. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna erase some of those lines here, here, there, and there. Zoom in here, here, there, there. Okay. But we're not done yet. There's still more to do. Um, this leg here, these are going to be the table legs, these squares. So we're going to make a little flat spot there. We want to have a nice flat spot there. So I'll show you what we do here. We can measure from this endpoint and go down. It automatically what? Well, it's automatically going 1 1/8 inch, so let's do that. Boom. We drew a line. Let's do that on all of them. Okay, it's 1 1/8 inch. It should automatically be there. Kind of neat how we did that. And here, and boom. It just snaps so easy. Let's take the eraser and erase that. That. And you could click around. The erase only erases the lines. Okay. So now we have like, this is like the edge of the table, and that's gonna like extend out. So if we click here, I don't know if it even works from here. It does. So if we click on this endpoint, we can extend this line even further, and then we can even continue extending it like further. Like we can go 1/4 of an inch. Boom. And then we can click and go perpendicular. It's so great. Let's go further than 1/4 of an inch. I think that might not be enough. I'm gonna undo that. If you're doing an actual table, what, 3/8 inch? Is that enough? I don't know. No, 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is a nice. 3/4 inch is too much. 1/2 inch. And then like that. It gives us a little something, a nice little something. And we're going to do the same thing here. And 1/2 inch. And perpendicular. See how easy SketchUp is? Just so easy and fast to draw things. Now, we're going to draw another line, and this is going to be a piece that's going to come out, what, 1 inch? And then we're going to draw a rectangle. From this corner. Oh, that doesn't work. That's fine. Doesn't really work on angles, but we'll just do 1 inch. And then that. So you can kind of see where this is going if you've done any woodworking. Kind of see where we're going here. Now let's just do all of these. It's like it almost like remembers. Now if you trace this way and then go down and then go boom, like it remembers. Trace here, follow it. Here. Then you just come from here. Sometimes it takes a little bit to figure out. There it is. Here, follow that. Inch. Oh, that. Come on. Done. Another one done. Maybe it would have been easier to just duplicate it. That's all right. This is good practice. Oh, okay. So we have our little, I don't even know what those are called. But now we can go through and clean it up. Yep. All right. Now, do you guys see what we're doing now a little bit better? All right. Excelente. So we kind of have like a little template drawn up. We have autosave. It saves automatically. Now we're going to click our select space and we're going to click. We click once, you see how we select each particular surface. Now if you click on a line, it selects the line. If you double click, it selects the surface and the surrounding lines. But if you triple click, it selects the whole thing. Okay, we're going to triple click it, and then we're going to right click, and then right here it says make component. It's very important to make components because if you continue doing this, everything is going to become merged into one thing, and it makes everything a lot more difficult. So definition. So definition is like the name. So we're going to make it tabletop. And we're going to press OK. So this is our tabletop now. And it's got our little template on there. So it's going to make everything easy. Now we're going to start creating some actual shapes here. So I guess we could start with these little thingies here. Now actually, and the great thing is all we have to do is create one shape and then we're going to move them about. So this is going to be interesting. Get me in the comments below on what this little piece here is called. I don't even know what it's called, but I'd like to know what that's called. So we're going to click our line tool. And we're going to just trace around this. Boom, like that. And now we're going to click. I think we are not in the table anymore. Yeah, we're not in the table anymore. Make sure you're not in the table anymore. And we're going to click our push-pull tool. And we're going to grab that and we're going to pull it up. And we're going to say 3 inches. All right, so now we have our little block. Just call it a block. So we're going to click it and we're going to triple click our block. And then we're going to right click and we're going to make a component out of it. And this will be our, we'll call it a block. Press OK. And now we have a block. Now, once we have a component, we can move that component much easy. We click on the move tool here on the left. And you can move, you select a piece like that and you move it. Now, here's one of the very few hotkeys that we have to use because there's really no other. Well, let's see if there's something we can do that's, yeah, there isn't anything. You have to use a hotkey here, unfortunately. I hate when I'm watching people's videos on how to do something and all they do is hotkeys. It's like, I use that program maybe 3 times a year, okay? I'm not going to remember the hotkeys. All right, we're going to click an endpoint. It doesn't matter where. And we're going to move it. Now, when we move it, we're going to press the control button just once. And we're going to move it to this thing is going to go right here. That same edge is right here. So, you know, it looks funny, but I'll show you what we're going to do. Now we're going to rotate this piece. So we're going to click right here is rotate. And we're going to click the original point of rotation. And then we're going to click another point. And then we're going to zoop, rotate it around. Bam. Right in place. There we have it. Pretty neat. Okay, now we're going to do something even cooler. We're going to select one component, and then we're going to hold shift. This is just a common thing in all programs. If you hold shift and select something, now you have two things selected. I had to deselect. I must have moved and I selected this. Okay. Make sure you only have these two blocks selected. We're going to click our move tool again. And it doesn't matter where we click. And we're going to start moving it. And then we're going to press control and move it. Okay. Just move it to here for now. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we have to rotate those. So we're going to do a rotate tool, and we're going to find, like, boom, right here, there's a midpoint. See, it says midpoint and tabletop. We're going to rotate there. We're going to click that, and we're going to click here, and then we're going to click on this side. Bam. We just rotated those. Now we can just slide them into place. And we're going to click this endpoint. And we're going to move it to that endpoint that's on the bottom of the table. Bam. Snapped right into place, right where we want them. And we have our 4 blocks for our table. We can kind of rotate around if you want to see with that center mouse. Holding down your center mouse wheel. Next, we're going to do these 4 little side pieces here. I'm going to just create one of those. Now, I don't know what that's called. We'll call it a support piece, though. We'll just call it support. No, I don't know the proper terminology. Group 1, there. Just trace around it. There and there. Okay, we have another traced piece. Now we're going to extrude that. Or I'm push-pull, I guess. That. There we go. And now you can either type in the height, or if you want it the same height as something, you can hover it kind of over that item, and it automatically extrudes to the same height, which we have 3 inches. 3 inches sounds pretty good. That's a good number for a support piece. We're going to left click and we're going to triple click on here. Did a triple click, look around, make sure it's selected. And then we can right click and say make component. And this is going to be our, oh, what did I say we were going to call this? A support piece. Okay. Okay, now we have our support. Just left click on one. Our support piece and bam. Now we can move it. And we're going to just select there, and we're going to do a control. Move it. I guess it doesn't really matter where we move it. I think we'll move it to here. Right in place, but you can see it's kind of like backwards. Like what? It's backwards, but we're going to rotate it. Hopefully we can rotate it perfect. I don't know if we can. Oh yeah, it's going to be difficult. So yeah, right here, midpoint on support piece. And we rotated around, but it's kind of moved a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and move it over in on it. And bam, we got our support. We have 2 now. Now we're going to just copy them over, and maybe we might be able to just rotate them into place from there. So we're going to try that. Let's see how if that works. It may or may not work. We might have to put a line in the table. So let's try. Maybe we'll try it first, and then we'll try putting a line in the table. Let's try it first without the line. So we're going to click our select. Now we're going to hold shift, and we're going to select. Now we have 2. We're going to rotate. We got nothing. So we're going to undo that. We're going to take a, if we double click on a component, you're now editing that component. So we're going to take a line tool, and here's a midpoint. We're going to draw a midpoint all the way across. And now see, now there's a midpoint here. So now we're going to click our selection and double click out of that. We can click here, single click your other component, and we're going to rotate it. We're going to try that rotation again, right on this midpoint. And we're going to go click on this one, and boom, we rotate it, but to here. But now we're going to hit control. Boom. And left click. So the control copies it, makes a copy of it. So we just replicated that. We probably could have just copied, if I had a line in there, we could have done it again. All right. Now we have one last thing, and that is our table legs. And hey, we might be able to rotate every table leg in place from the midpoint of this. Maybe I should have done a line through there. Let's go ahead and do the leg. All right. I'm going to zoom in here. And I'm going to create a line. Boom. Start at one end and just go all the way. Oh, what's this? Oh, Control-Z. You got to be careful sometimes. Something happened there. We're just going to start all the way over. Sure you get that end piece. And boom, done. Closed it out. And we're going to pull it out. Click on it, and we're going to go all the way up to 3 feet on this. We have a 3-foot table. Boom, there is our leg there. Now, we can do something special with this leg. We're going to do something special. Okay. Click a line. And we're going to come up and we're going to say 6 inches. So it's hard to tell where this ends in this view. So if we go over to, we're going to save it first because, yes, per Joel. Right here, this is styles. And then browse. And sketchy edges. Straight lines. No, not straight lines. I looked through all of these the other day. And there is one that helps us see. Tech Pen, I think. Did this yesterday and it's not here now. It was a Tech Pen 1. Oh, Tech Pen Endpoints right here. There it is, okay? It kind of looks bad, but you can really see the endpoints. See how it's got these black lines? You can actually see what you're doing. So we're going to click and draw, and if we scroll all the way up, we can X that out. And that's just clicking on the, right here, styles on the right. We're going to go around, and at the 6-inch mark, we're just making a line all the way around this table leg. And you can kind of see it snap to the different whatevers. Right. And then you can take this and hit your select your face, and you can scale, and you can like do something like that if you want. That might be hard to do in actual woodworking. But that's fine. We're just doing this just to practice. So you could scale something like that. And now we have like a interesting design. Right? And we can go back. Now that we're done using this tech pen where we need to see our edges, we can go back to a different original default style, which is this setup. I think. No? Let's do this. And we're back here. And we have our little leg. And we're gonna triple click that. And we're gonna make component. And we're gonna call this our leg. Leg. Press OK. So now we have our table leg. We're gonna try to do the rotation again. I'm gonna rotate it from here. Boom. Okay, we rotated that right in there. And we'll select both of these next, and we're going to click rotation again. And from the midpoint, and don't forget to press Control to make a copy of it. And bam. Go ahead and save that. Yeah, I don't know why that. All right. And we have an upside down table. Pretty sweet. Isn't it? Okay. Next thing we can do is we can select the whole thing, drag it over the whole thing, and we can rotate this whole thing proper. My rotation is not. Okay, here we go. Boom. You have to make sure that rotation is showing the right way for you to rotate it perfectly up and down. And we have what's a table. But wait, there's more. You can also get little dimension lines of this whole thing. So let's say I want to get the dimensions of this tabletop. We could color it too. There's a lots we can do here. So let's say if we want to color it. This is the materials, and we click the little search, and you can click colors or textures or anything. I just like to use the colors. And I know a red table ain't the best, but if we just click on it, the component, it'll be that color. Now we separate each component by color. Just, click that, and click each one. Have the colors. You could see everything clearly. Now let's say you want to say, okay, now I want to build this table. How do I know what I made is actually what I made, like, you know? Like, how do I know that this table is like 4 foot or whatever? We go, click here, is our, that's not it. Structure, hover over it, see what these are. Components, that's what we're looking for. Tabletop. You should be able to drag this. There it is. Sometimes it's hard, I don't know. Okay. You don't drag it, you left click it, and then you click here, okay? So here's our tabletop. Now we can go through and delete all these, or we could leave that there. I mean, we could keep that there, but now we can get our measurements from this. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we do here. We brought our tabletop in, and click out of that. And if we go right here, we have dimensions. There's some other tools here where create polygons and circles and stuff, but we're doing just the basics, making us basic table. We play with it later. Dimensions. Right there, 4 foot. How tall is this? Go here to here. 1.5 inches. Am I sure that this is 4 feet as well? Yeah. Oh, here's how I get the dimensions. Okay, but wait, there's more. All right, let's go back to our components. And let's check out our leg. Here's our leg. We can click our dimensions and go like this. F. Oh, that went up. Press escape to cancel it out. 3.5. 6 inches there. And how far is it from the very top? That 3 foot 1/16 inch. I don't know where I got that 6. That is true. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, we're gonna delete that. We got to be careful where we're measuring it from. So we're gonna click our selection tool, select that, and delete it. See how I measured it on an axis that was actually, I have to measure it. This is the straight axis there. So that's an easy mistake to make that could really throw off your whole project. There to there. And that's 3 foot right there. Then get our 6. And then if we want to know what this measurement is here, that. 1 3/16 inch. So that's how you get your dimension lines.